The Open Wide Our Hearts group of Good Shepherd Parish wants to welcome you and thank you for coming tonight. Our group has been working since July 2020 to read, discuss, and implement the Bishop's pastoral letter, Open Wide Our Hearts, and also to explore many other ways that our parish and church community can work to end racism. Our projects have included a novena to St. Michael to end racism, the Project Baby's Diaper Drive during October for the Right to Life Month, Stations of the Cross for Overcoming Racism, followed by a soup dinner, viewing and discussing 2 recent movies, Hidden Figures and The Hate You Give, collection, display, and blessing of diverse Marian images at St. James School. And finally, we collected items for our spring auction from Black-owned businesses. Again, thank you for your participation in the work to end racism, and welcome to Good Shepherd Parish.
Subject matter. What's it like being a Black Catholic? And that's what we're here about. And the short answer is, it's the same as being Black in America. Racism is a human rights issue. The Catholic Church has a history of being somewhat mute on that point. It tends to be more a reflection of the dominant society than the teachings of Christ. Where was the church during the centuries of slavery in the Americas? Where was the church during the genocide of indigenous people in Asia, Africa, and America? The oppressed were taught acquiescence, submit, obey, turn the other cheek. Let's go to more modern times. Where was the church during the persecution of the Jews in Nazi Germany? And now, closer to home, the cathedral and bishop's residence were in the city of Gary, Indiana. The bishop's residence was moved to Maryville, a suburb. The location is not the issue. The issue is when it moved. And I repeat, when it moved. The penitential act states, I have greatly sinned in my thoughts and in my words, in what I have done and in what I have failed to do. I have to repeat, what I have failed to do. From all the things I have heard and experienced, I periodically ask myself, why am I a Catholic? Am I a Catholic because it is the faith of my father, or because the Catholic Church teaches and performs the directives of Christ? Honestly, I don't know. Nazi Germany.
I was born into the Catholic faith because both parents are both Catholics, and they attended Catholic high school and grammar school. They attended one of the oldest African American churches on the south side of Chicago, and that would be Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament. Mother Catherine Drexel, she was the heiress and the founder of the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament. She was a philanthropist, and she has since been canonized and is a saint now. So back in the day, my parents said they used to write letters to her. So I've always been around the nuns and the priests, and they've always been good to myself and my family. They are actually very good friends of ours and part of our family. I got to tell you, it was a wonderful life. I had always felt protected. We had the best teachers, lay teachers, nuns and priests. It was a good life. I didn't know that anything was ever bad until I kind of grew up, and I started really processing, where are all the African American priests and nuns? Where are the people that look like me? I thought that's not good for children who might be trying to, or young adults who might be wanting to become priests and sisters. We say we walk the walk of Jesus, but we we don't necessarily do that. We don't embrace all people. And as a church, if we say that we are built on that our church is about the teachings of Christ, then we need to be doing that. The modern Catholic Church, we should be a continuation of what Christ has done in his life. I didn't learn anything about slavery in my schools, and like I said, I attended Catholic schools all my life. So I didn't know slavery as I know it today, and it's time for us to teach our children about slavery and what part did the Catholic Church play in slavery. I don't think it's not to shame the Catholic Church, but to say, yes, we have made our mistakes. We are not perfect, but we are trying to do better and to get better. I believe for me, I would want white people to know that blacks are not lazy. We don't expect a handout. We need some help. We have been downtrodden for a long time, and by our society, by the United States. And we have missed out on business opportunities, loans, what have you. People have suppressed us as a people. And I just want us to be, I would like white people to know that we need you. We need you to help stand with us and for us. We need to unite to make a change.
At age 7, at St. Henry's Church in Cincinnati, Ohio, 90% of the congregants or members of the church were black. And I didn't have an experience of being a black Catholic in a white environment until a few years later when I switched schools, where I was the third black, my sister, third and fourth black students to go to that school, St. Augustine. And 98% of the congregation was white. And I was there to serve God, and nothing stopped me. It was a good experience. While at church, at school, it was a little different. And it wasn't about Catholicism, it was just about the way people had developed their feelings about people of different color. And it was something that you were prepared for before you came to church, in your neighborhood. Wherever you went, you get it on the bus or wherever, you would pick up a feeling of difference according to your color. But at church, that was a comfortable place to be. And after grade school at St. Augustine, I went to all-black high school, Blessed Martin de Porres at that time. He's now St. Martin de Porres. And all of the students were black. The priests were white. We had black teachers, our coaches. As a matter of fact, when we went to play games, before the game, the coach would inform us, you have 2 strikes against you. Number 1, you're black. Number 2, you're Catholic. Now don't go out and lose and strike out. There are penalties that we have to pay, whether we're black or white, because we're Catholic, and we were taught that. But we were taught that Jesus had to pay the greatest price because he came to save us, and he died on the cross. And with that in our minds, and we were constantly reminded of that. If I thought that someone was prejudiced towards me, and if I didn't use my God-given skills to to know, love, and serve Him, and my neighbor as myself, including that person who might felt that because I'm black, I don't want to, because he's black, I don't want to be around him. It's so good to have God's skills to change that person's mind, their feeling. And I've had people tell me before, you know, I didn't know that black people were so nice, or why aren't other black people as nice as you are? You know, I don't particularly invite that statement, but yet I understand what they're saying, or, you know, what their shortcomings are. And if something comes up or somebody says something, if that evil spirit is trying to intervene, telling you that somebody doesn't like you because you're black, or you should, hey, don't like them because they're white, hey, keep praying. God will banish the evil. God will banish the evil. And open wide your heart. You will do that. You will open wide your heart because God will open your heart.
You know, I grew up Catholic all my life. When I was a baby, we went to church all the time, and then I went to a Catholic elementary school, and then I went to a Catholic high school, and then I went to a Catholic college, and then I sent all my kids to Catholic schools. So it's been life, I guess. I don't really know if there's necessarily really a hard part about being a black person who is Catholic, because it really doesn't have to do with anybody other than myself and God and the belief that Jesus actually was doing some positive things in the world. Well, about inviting a black person to come to a Catholic church, I would tell them that they might need to brace themselves a little bit and understand that Catholicism is a little bit different way to praise God and to magnify Jesus. I definitely have been to many different churches and believe that there are lots of different ways to probably justifiably praise God and glorify what Jesus did in his life. So I would think that many people that are black would probably say, I won't mind to go with you to church, but they might need a little supplementation after that. The way I feel right now about Catholicism and even about church is that I just want to be happy. I want to be happy when I think about what God does for me. I want to be happy and sing songs and actually be excited about what God is doing in my life, what God has already done in my life, and what God's gonna do in my life based on what I know, if I can try to do a few of the things the way Jesus did himself. And in Wisconsin, this is really hard because white people do not need to have black friends. And so you don't really need to have to understand what black folks go through in order to actually begin to know what it really means and how they really feel about worshiping God, about worshiping Jesus. So once we've been through a lot of really, really tough experiences, we can go out and preach and praise and shout and sing about what we know God has done for us. But sometimes I don't think that white people have even a glimpse of what that means, a glimpse of what it really means like to live in a world where you are always classified as minority. In this country, it doesn't happen. Most white folks can get along in their lives forever without needing anybody black. But in this country right here, we need to have allies that are white. We need to have relationships with people that are white. Otherwise, we cannot do anything. So I like to encourage white folks to think about, and people are always like they have some excuse about this, but honestly, if you can place yourself on a regular basis in an environment where you feel like minority, I think you can learn something about a black Catholic. Get yourselves out. If I have to get out and about in the community, white and black, and even in the Latinx community, I think everybody should be called to do more reaching out and seeing what does life look like in other people's places and spaces of their heart. We done?